Welcome to another Asset Services tutorial. In this video we are going to demonstrate the functions of the Learning Graph tool, which is a web-based component of the Asset platform. In the current implementation, the platform supports multi-tenancy, so users must first be authenticated using their username and password in order to get access to the tool. The learning contents are organized based on assets model in three levels, namely materials, outcomes, and graphs. So each learning graph may consist of one or multiple learning outcomes, and each outcome may consist of one or multiple learning materials as shown in the figure. This approach enables the reusability of existing learning materials in different graphs by serving different learning outcomes. On the main page of the Asset Services, the button associated with the Learning Graph tool is called for Tutors, so the users who are educational program designers can access the tool by clicking this button. On the page where the button redirects us, we can see all the learning graphs that exist in the system with their learning outcomes and their learning materials, but we can also make combining filtering through the given filters. Afterwards, we can see all the learning outcomes with their learning materials and the learning graph it belongs to. Next, we can see all the learning materials in the first table and the learning materials that we have created in the second table. To create a learning graph, you can either start from the root of the tree and proceed towards the leaves, or alternatively start from the learning materials and associate them with learning outcomes and these with a learning graph. In this video we are going to demonstrate the first method, so let's create a learning graph with topic AC microgrids, thematic field, let's place some description. We can provide some keywords like AC microgrids. Now let's place some learning outcomes in our graph. Let's say this one with description, and now this outcome has a material with the name slides, description, we can attach files if we want to by selecting the format file, and then we can attach the file. We can define one or more URLs for the learning material. We can define mode such as face-to-face, CQF, level, range of trainees, institution, location, and maybe some keywords. Let's create a second learning material for this learning outcome. Paper, description, six to 20. Let's place a third learning material for this learning outcome, paper, description, blended EQF. Let's place a URL. Institution and location. Let's save the learning outcome. Let's click save before we proceed. Now let's place a second learning outcome with a title of some description, and let's place a learning material for this learning outcome with the title of paper, description, mode blended, EQF7, range of train is 6 to 20, 6 to 20, institution, and location. And the second learning material, paper, blended 7, 6 to 20. Let's place a URL. Institution and location. By selecting a learning graph or a learning outcome or a learning material, we can see all of the information of the selected item, but also edit it or even delete it if the selected item is ours. Once a learning graph is created, another colleague could clone it and revise the cloned learning graph to build the learning graph instance of his choice. If you wish to find out how we create a learning graph with the second method, you can watch the associated video in this link.